putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. What I like to track. I started to talk about this earlier and we got off track. That's okay. No big deal. But I do want to talk about some of the things that were said about Donald Trump that are now gone. What's not being discussed. I love looking at things and saying, why are we not talking about this any longer? Why is this not happening? And the reason why I'm reminded of this is I flew back with a young man on a plane who had these untruths about Trump. And I looked at him and said, that's completely false. And he's like, really? I go, yeah, it's false. I said, look, you don't have to believe me. I said, I'm no disciple of Trump. I'm not. I'm a disciple of the truth. And I said, you owe it to yourself as a millennial to make sure you get the right information. If I only give you partial information, you can run off and go, okay, this is the way I want to go. So he was a CNC machinist. And I told him, I said, if I don't give you the right place to drill holes, you don't know where to drill. It isn't going to do you any good to just drill random holes in a piece of steel that's going to go into the making of a building, is it? And he goes, no. I said, I got to give you facts, 100% truth, so you know how to program the CNC so it goes to the exact spot you're going to need the hole. If it's offset by a millimeter, you and I know what the ramifications of that are, correct? He says, yeah. I said, that's what you're getting. You get nothing but fake news. So one of them was, Donald Trump is a misogynist. He's, hates women and all this. There's zero proof of that. I mean, think about it. A hatred of women. These are the people that serial killers. These are the people that go out killing prostitutes. And you find out later, oh yeah, he killed his mother. Was a prostitute, and he got mad because she had a life with him doing this, that, and the other. So he went out and he decided he's going to kill prostitutes. Donald Trump, there's not enough trauma in this man's life for him to have done anything close to that. He treats women with respect. Is it always that way? No, but you know what he does? He gives with what he gets. That would be like saying, oh, women have always respected Donald Trump as a man. Your own wife or girlfriend maybe can't even make that statement about you. There are times, man, where you go, what did you just say? What did you just call me? Right? The next thing they said, Trump paid off a prostitute. Gone. The story was up less than 3 days ago? Yeah, Trump, we have proof now. Proof of what? Do it. You want to convince me that a billionaire playboy has to pay off a prostitute to keep quiet that he's involved with her? If Donald Trump was involved with a prostitute, he'd probably say, yeah. It would be like, here's the irony. Hollywood will make a movie about a guy like Donald Trump hiring a prostitute, falling in love with her and marry her, but then the same sanctimonious pieces of crap will come back to you and go, well, look at Donald Trump. He's hanging out with Pretty Woman. Okay, what if he were? You like the movie. What, you don't like the reality? He paid her off. So did Richard Gere. He gave her an unlimited checkbook. Go shopping. Go do what you need. Oh, it's beautiful in Hollywood, but in real life, when it's against Donald Trump, whoa, ho, 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 ho. Let me tell you, if Donald Trump were a Democrat, they'd be talking about that story like he was Pretty Woman. And the woman, like it was the movie Pretty Woman, and he was Richard Gere, and the chick would be Julia What's-Her-Face. I don't even care what her name is. They said Trump is a racist. It's temporarily gone, isn't it? He suddenly, he's no longer the racist. Remember, that was the big deal because he called these countries crap holes. That was going to be the thing, right? It's going to break his back. It's gone, temporarily anyway, because they never completely let racism go away. That's just a recyclable. Then they told us what? Trump's unhinged. He's totally unhinged. And then Trump has a meeting with all the Democrats. He publicizes it. He says, here's the way I go to negotiation. And he did it for a reason. He wanted people to know, I'm bringing them to the table. I invited them to the White House. I want to talk about DACA. I'm not afraid of it. Well, Mr. President, are you saying such and such, says Dianne Feinstein? Are you willing to do this? And she's trying to dismiss him. I'm talking to this guy. And Trump's like, yeah, whatever, Barbara. Sure, Barbara. Yeah. And then what did they do? They run off with the bipartisan commission that's composed of Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's a Democrat. That chick is a Democrat, right? So they come back with that nonsense. And Donald Trump's still reasonable. Let's talk about it. Let's get it done. So then they think it's going to play into this whole narrative that he's crazy. He doesn't want to do it. And Trump's going, no, not only do I want to do it, I brought him in to do it. And you know what they did? They broke all the rules. They lied to you. They lied. They told you they wanted to do it. I told them, we'll give you this and this. Are we all good about funding the military? Do you think that's something that we should do? Here's what I say. Why is that? Why is the military tied to any other piece of legislation? Why is it? I say to Donald Trump, go to the senators and say, you know what I want to do? This way, going forward for any other president, we no longer use the military as a negotiation platform. We can all agree that my number one goal, my number one responsibility as president is to make sure we're protected. We're going to take anything that involves the protection of the United States out of Congress's ability to negotiate it in terms of it'll be done in and of itself, not tied to any other piece of legislation. How about that? That sounds pretty smart to me. Brings me to my next point that's gone. So anyway, Trump is unhinged, temporarily gone. Trump is an idiot. It's gone. How can you call a man an idiot with a year one like he had in 2017? How are you going to rationalize that? And particularly, how are you going to rationalize it as 2018 continues to boom? Which brings me to my next point. Why are they not talking about the economic boom? They'll talk about the stock market, but they're not talking about the GDP, what it means, long term, the companies coming back, and so on and so forth. Why is it they won't talk about that stuff? Gone. Trump is a liar. We'll get to that one in a second. Impeach Trump, almost gone, isn't it? Trump colluded with the Russians. Gone. Gone. Impeach Trump, by the way, is gone. When I say almost gone, I'm saying the knuckleheads on the Congressional Black Circus are going to continue to bring it up. But it's gone. There's no leadership in D.C. who would dare try to get Trump out of office for impeachment. For what? Being the best president in the history of the modern era, year one? Let's impeach him. The public will go for it. But the bigger issue is around Trump being a liar. Gone. I found an article, and here's how it reads. When President Trump sat down with the New York Times for an interview recently, he said something untrue about every 75 seconds. There was somebody looking at his speech or his interview, and they said he said something true every 75 seconds. And I want you to hear this because this has ramifications that are far beyond what we're talking about today. He says, that's not just usual political boasting and grandstanding. These were actual, verifiable claims which professional fact checkers investigated and found to be untrue. For example, Trump said in the interview that virtually every Democrat has said that the Trump campaign did not collude with the Russians during the 2016 election, while there was, quote, tremendous collusion between the Russians and the Democrats. That's not just false, but breathtakingly false, as one fact checker put it. Democrats have not exonerated Trump, though some have been circumspect about what we know and don't know about Russian meddling, and there's little evidence that the Democrats were colluding with Russia. In fact, the CIA, FBI, NSA found in January of 2017 that Russia aimed to discredit Hillary Clinton helped Trump's chances in the election. So the claim doesn't make much sense. Now I'm going to stop there for just a second and tell you this is a perfect example of why the left is getting their butts kicked, and it's going to happen again in November of 2018. This guy, and this was I think post January of 2017, this interview, this particular thing, and they're still talking about Russia, and it's been put to bed. It's been put to bed. And I mean, so much so, it's pathetically how bad it's been put to bed. And it involves the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA, who they say all found Trump had lied or whatever in 2017. And every one of those organizations will be proven to be a bunch of liars, a bunch of partisan hacks. They said a year-end review of untrue claims from factcheck.org found Trump dominated the list with remarks on everything from his inauguration to Russia investigation to his own tax bill. Now, think about, I'm telling you, this interview happened early 2017. They said PolitiFact checked 483 things that Trump said. 69% were rated mostly false or false. I went and looked at this PolitiFact. It might as well have been written by the Clinton campaign. It is so full of lies. Folks, let the Democrats keep this mess up. Let them keep it up. Donald Trump gives you the truth. You may not like it. You may say, oh, it's being parsed, but he's giving these people the truth and they ignore it.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.